Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We got another recap for week number 5 or number 4, one of the two. I think it's week 5 of Love Island, Australia. This is season 3, episode 20 recap. A lot went on. It focused on one person pretty much, or shall I say two people. Well, we'll get into that. And there are a couple other things we need to unpack as well. But before we do this, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and also feel free to drop a comment down in the comment section below. I love engaging with you guys. And again, thank you so much for supporting the channel. So let's jump into this. Well, let's briefly talk about this whole thing. I guess Taylor has officially in a roundabout way, is done, even though we thought that she was done in episode 19. Because she came back to him to meet with him again, only to tell him, I'm done, but, we need to kind of take it slower. I'm done, or I don't know. I'm like, Taylor, if you're going to be done with him, be done with him. But it seems like she pretty much told him in so many words, yeah, I'm done. And he took it in stride. He was like, okay, if that makes you happy, I'm good. We can keep it moving. So Ryan, it didn't even faze him that much. He's pretty much over it. And it's, and I'm thinking when you've been dealing with at least 500 sexual partners, it's easier to go from one to the next mentally, because the connections aren't deep enough. So for her to tell him that, it was like, okay, well, you know what? Hey, I'll find somebody else. I mean, so far he's been with Ari, he's been with Lexi, now Taylor, and now that's over. So we got 3 people, and he hasn't been with them sexually, but he's been coupled up with these 3. So to him, he's like, you know what? I got to be selfish. I'm going to find what I want. And if that's not you, so be it. But can we just talk about for 30 seconds how cute Chris and Zoe are? I wish they would give them more airtime, but I know they got to stick to the drama, right? It's what keep people talking and on their toes. But honestly, I have to give some love to them. I also want Michaela and Taku to get some airtime as well too. We want to see how their love romance is budding. So hopefully we'll get some more of that next week, but we'll see. So we had a new guy by the name of Hugh come on to the villa. He swiped right on a couple of girls, one being Lexi, and of course the other girl being Courtney. And of course, Lexi is ready to go. She is so unattached to Ben. She's definitely not with Ryan. So at this point, hey. And then there's Courtney. Now, Courtney has Noah, but she's open. And, at the end of the day, these two are like chomping off at the bits, but I don't see Lexi connecting with him. She's just looking at him as a lifeline. I mean, she was like, oh my God, I think this is a great guy and he's perfect for me. And I'm like, you only talked to him for what? Half hour? Okay. Yeah, right, Lexi. You want to make sure you stay partnered up so you therefore can stay in the villa. I'm over Lexi right now after everything that has happened. And I did see that immaturity. So whatever. So let's talk about what took up most of this episode, which was this whole debacle that was initiated by yours truly, Jess. And one thing I always say is the windows are the eyes to the soul. And I'm telling you, when you get a glance of how she looks in his eyes and how there's this disdain or disgust for him, but he didn't even do anything. He didn't do anything. She created this whole narrative in her head about the fact that he don't like me. He's disgusted with me because I had a wardrobe malfunction, and he's lying about it, and I can't make him admit the truth, even though I think he's lying to me about how I think he felt. I don't want him to tell me how to feel, but I can tell you what you're feeling and what you're thinking, and if you say otherwise, you're lying. I have never seen so many red flags and toxicity in a person other than this young lady right here. And she just, like Aaron said, she just don't care. And it seems like it. She got right up from accosting him and going back and forth, and her talking about, oh, you think I make this complicated? And all he said was a general statement about it didn't have to get this complicated. Oh, was I the one that made it complicated? And then when Aaron tries to stand up for himself, then she turns around and says, stop talking to me like this. But you talking crazy to him. He's trying to explain and stand up for himself, but then you play the victim. I mean, it's just a whole lot of, I don't know, something's going on with this girl. And I mean, it was one thing, in the beginning, she was with Jess. Then she went to Taku. Then she was with Aaron, I'm sorry. Then she went to Taku, and then that whole thing broke down. She went back to Aaron, and it's like Aaron has been diehard, just on your side since day one. He waited for you to come back to him. And I mean, he's pretty much obsessed with this girl. And then he says something to her in the room, and she was like, well, that's how you treat a girl who is that you're over the moon about, or something like that. And I'm like, what is wrong with her? Either she likes self-sabotaging relationships, because remember, they just became exclusive not even 24 to 48 hours ago. And then now she's self-sabotaging and making him the victim, telling everybody in the villa that he's being mean to her, he's walking off from her, painting him as the villain, when she's the one that's villainizing. I've never, I won't say I've never, but this right here, yeah, is toxic, red flags all over the place, gaslighting, histrionic, whatever you want to call it. The girl is gone. So, yeah, they need to be done just for the sake of his own mental health, because he was drained. He was mentally exhausted. He said, I have never felt like this in my life being with somebody. So, yeah, obviously it's toxic. So now they get a text, and it was Hugh's turn to pick one of the girls that, he had a speed date with. One of them, of course, was Courtney, and she looked like she was ready to get away from Noah, even though she was giving him mixed signals earlier. And then there's Lexi, and Lexi is not attached to Ben. Unfortunately, Ben is on the hot seat because, of course, Lexi is chosen by Hugh. And so sorry for Ben, because he was used to get back at Ryan, and it didn't even make a difference because Ryan is single. He's not with anybody. However, somebody else stepped up and said, I have an announcement to make. And that was Aaron. Aaron was like, you know what? I'm going to sum this up because he said a lot. But pretty much he was like, you know what, I've been in, everybody's been great to me. I love the guys. I love the girls. However, the last couple days have been too much. It's been too draining. And I don't want to be negative to you, which is the mature thing, because he didn't have to, he don't want to take that energy and put it on the rest of the Islanders and make their journey worse. Everybody was upset and crying, tears. And he was like, I'm pretty much done. And he said, I wish the best for you, Jess. And she's sitting up there like, why are you doing this? Jess, why do you think he's doing this? To get the heck away from you. Because, nobody else has been doing anything to him but you. But she don't see nothing. The crazy thing out of all of this is everybody was crying except for her. I'm telling you, it's something going on with this girl. I don't know what and I hate doing the personality armchair psychology thing on my channel, but it's just something up with this girl that she had no emotion about what happened with what's going on with Aaron. And he said this is probably the worst he's ever felt in a very long time. And, and it's so unfortunate. I would have preferred for Jess to leave, because at this point, anybody who's coming onto the show watching, And even Ryan was crying, which that was interesting. But the thing is that anybody that's watching, that's coming onto the island as a guy, they're going to avoid her like the plague. So she should have went home. Let her go off the island. They could have gave Aaron another chance, but he did what he did. And I don't blame him. You got to do whatever it takes to make sure that your mental health stay intact. Mental health is so, so very important. And you don't want anyone to take that away from you. And she did everything. She played the victim. She projected all that stuff onto him. He had no idea. He had beginning to question his reality, question his sanity, all because of the ton of gaslighting that she was doing. I mean, yeah, he got away quick. I'm glad he didn't stay in that, because that is absolutely damaging to the person on the receiving end with that type of toxicity. So, unfortunately, I hate to see Aaron go, but if it means saving his mental health, I am all for it. Get away from that toxic red flag behavior as soon as possible. So, guys, let me know what you think down in the comment section. Sound off there. The episode 21 will be next week on Monday, so we look forward to that. But other than that, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.